Turn it up.
I told you now.
Please.
You are worse than me.
Another year is ending. Shey you dey whine me.
Alright guys, welcome to the Batterbox podcast, another episode, and it's another week as well. My name is Benji, and you know what we do on the podcast. We talk about basically everything about the African culture and its people, you know, different situations that we can relate to every single day. And today is no different because we're going to be talking about self-awareness and self-development. And
don't forget, you can be a part of the conversation online by following our social media handles as Batterbox Nigeria on Twitter, Instagram, and of course on Facebook. Don't also forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Batterbox Podcast. And I'm looking forward to seeing your comments on there.
Discussing that topic with me today is a very special person, a very good friend of mine, and almost more than a friend though, but we're not going to expose everything for you. We'll just leave it at that. Esther and Okidi ESQ. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm fine. You know, one thing about some of my friends are lawyers. That, you know, when they graduate, that ESQ that you guys used to put, what's the meaning of that ESQ?
Oh, it means like Esquire.
Esquire.
Yeah.
Like junior lawyer.
No, it means like practicing lawyer.
Okay, practicing lawyer. Oh, okay. That's fine.
You can only get PhD after your law school.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. And just for you guys to know, this is Esther is actually my lawyer. So in case you guys try to do anything funny, my lawyer is right here, and trust me, she knows her work. So today we are going to be talking about self-awareness and self-development. Of course, at some point in everyone's life, we kind of pause and take a back seat and try to, you know, think about our lives, think about ourselves, our values, what we tolerate and what we can't tolerate, and things we like and things we don't like, basically, you know, you get, and we try to, you know, work on that to build ourselves as a person. So when did you feel like you found yourself? Now talking about the self-discovery journey, when did you feel like you found yourself or you started finding yourself?
When I started finding myself was when I decided to start like running my own business.
Okay.
I think that was in 2017/18.
Okay.
I think that was when I looked at the mirror and just started to be more conscious of myself, and like I took a good look at the person I was as at then.
Yeah.
And when I looked at myself, I realized that I'm not the person I used to be. I have grown or evolved into like another person.
Yeah.
And this person requires more attention, more observation without judgment, and more looking into. So I would say between a period of 2017-2018.
So your business actually prompted the whole journey of like yourself, discovering yourself.
Yes, it did, because you know my business personally is just like my child.
Yeah,
right?
I get you.
When you have something that you're committed to and something you have to show up for, something you're like you already put so much into, it pushes you to like be better. It pushes you to, you know, want to develop yourself and see yourself from another perspective.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, because a lot of people actually associate success. They actually tie success to their career. For some people, success, when they attain success, is more like, is like a fulfillment for them, and it's over time it changes who they are. Or it shapes them to the kind of person they would like to be.
They would like to be.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct.
But in this case now, if I may ask, like, if you did not have, okay, let's say now that business that you actually started, has it always been in your mind? Like, has it always been part of your plan, or you just came along the way, and originally you were just following the original path, like going to school, graduating, after service you get a white collar job and start doing your 9 to 5? Was that the original plan?
Yeah, actually, you know, born into like the African setting, especially the Nigerian setting.
Yeah.
We all know that we are already programmed from when we are small to go to school, get good grades, get good jobs, take professional courses. We're already programmed that way, yeah?
Yeah.
So initially, that was all my plan. I've always wanted to be a lawyer, wear that gown and cap, my lord, may I.
Yeah.
But along the line, I discovered that there is something in which I am like effortlessly good at. Like, and something I also want to know more about. And that particular thing, which was my business, it pushed me more than that degree. Like, it brought out parts of me that my degree can never have brought out. Right?
Yeah.
Because when I was in school, the best I did was go to school and read. And reading is a good thing, it's not a bad thing, but it doesn't push you out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you do things that in your wildest dreams you would never have imagined or thought about doing such. So the 9 to 5 was already programmed in us and everybody, but along the line I had to like stop and look around and reevaluate myself. I had to ask myself, okay, after I come out from this degree, what next? I personally did not want to do a 9 to 5.
Okay.
So I had to start looking for other options that can replace that 9 to 5.
Okay.
And that's where I found my business, and that's where it all started.
Okay. Talking about like the basic things now, the basic things. What I mean basic things like your interest. I don't know if there was like a point in time where you felt like some things you were doing, some certain things you were doing were not actually the real you, or they were not actually things that you liked. They were probably influenced by companies or your friends or some kind of relationships that you have. For example, like myself personally, I know that originally I don't like alcohol. I do not like alcohol at all, and I don't like smoking. Now, this one is apart from my upbringing, like I naturally don't just like it. But when I was in school, my roommate then actually made me kind of trying it, because I now saw it like, okay, I'm exploring. Do you understand?
You have to like
yes.
taste it and know how to
So it now looked like I was giving in to the pressure. I was not like trying to drink, trying to smoke, the whole trying to fit in the society or trying to fit in with your friends and all of that. But then after a while, I get to like, I just sat down and just think like, bro, this is not you. You don't like doing all these things. So there's no need to start forcing yourself or putting yourself under unnecessary pressure or to please anybody to do any of these things. So as something like this, or something similar to this happened to you before?
There are cases in which it has presented itself. But me, I'm not a conformist. I do not conform to anyone's norm or anybody's definition of what is cool or what is not. So it came a lot of times actually. But there was this day when I wanted to go to school initially. I got admission into mass comm and law.
Okay.
I liked mass comm, right? I liked mass comm actually. Mass comm was something I looked at.
Yeah.
But there is this thing that we don't even notice, which happens in like families.
Yeah.
Parents find ways to make decisions for you.
Yeah.
But it makes it look like you made the decision. Like it happens a lot. And as kids, we will think that, oh yes, this is what we want, and this is us making the decision, not knowing that it's actually being influenced.
Yeah.
So when I got the whole admission to mass comm and law, I liked mass comm. Mass comm is something I wanted to explore, and right now I feel that I would have been happier or made more waves in mass comm. But I thought that I really wanted to do law, and that I liked law. I wanted law, and that resonated well with my dad, because he was like, oh, he wanted to study law while he was growing up but couldn't. So me feeling that this is what I want made me like go for it head on. No regrets, but it's part of what you are trying to say. Apart from that being said, I don't think that I have had any situation where I had to conform to anything because of peer pressure or whatever. But it doesn't take out to the fact that it happens generally.
Yeah. Why do you think self-awareness, this whole journey of self-discovery, why do you think it's important? And also, I think over time, I think people have tried to tie the whole self-awareness or self-discovery to a certain age, a particular age bracket, because it seems like us that we are probably in our mid-20s or our late 20s, we are the one that have problem too much. So there's always so much going on our lives or in our lives. So they kind of tie the whole self-awareness to our age bracket. Why do you think it's so important? And is the age thing, and does the age also affect self-awareness?
Okay, yes. Self-awareness is very, very... Let me start with the age. Yes, self-awareness actually do affect the age, because if you and I can testify that when you were 10 years old, some things that your brain cells have opened to now was not open then.
Yeah, sure.
You can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes. So if we get to a certain age where we realize that, okay, we have to be conscious of our actions, right?
Yeah.
We have to know what we are doing and why we are doing them. That's why it's best as grown-ups, it's best that we observe our actions without judgment first, to know what prompts the actions, why we do it, and it gives us self-consciousness. And self-consciousness there's a thin line between self-consciousness and self-awareness. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know, when somebody is like self-aware of themselves, they are aware of everything they are doing and why they are doing it.
Yeah.
But when you can say somebody is self-conscious, it means they are trying to like curtail some kind of actions they do in order to gain like, for people to like them, to not dislike them. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
So the whole age thing is very appropriate, because the more we advance, the more we grow, the more our brain cells open to more things in life. And why self-awareness is very, very important is because it gives us this control over our actions, right?
Yeah.
If we are aware of what we are doing and we're also aware when we are doing it, it gives us this sort of control over what we do, avoid being regretful, having regrets, or wanting to have done something better. You can see some adults who are not self-aware, behaving in some certain ways that are very, very uncultured and uncalled for. You can see someone that is like at a very, very mature age, being like a child. And in the next 5 minutes, saying he's sorry because he's not aware of what he's doing when he or she. So it's very important for grown-ups to be aware in order to control our actions. One, in order to control the situation. Our reaction either escalates the situation or reduces it.
Yeah,
so
sure.
If we are self-aware of what we are doing, it can easily de-escalate the situation, and it also boosts our leadership qualities. Not everybody can be self-aware, not everybody can be leaders, right?
Yeah.
So it helps us to narrow our focus and narrow our lenses towards what we are doing, why we are doing it, and how we should. I heard this quote. I read this quote in a book. They said, "Those who aim at nothing hit it with tremendous precision," or something like that. So when we walk out each day, not being aware of what we are doing and why we are doing it, we just aim for nothing.
Yeah.
We just move on impulse, and it's very, very rampant in this part of the world that people just behave anyhow because they mostly base their actions on impulse and not self-awareness.
True.
So it's very, 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 very important that we have self-awareness. Also, self-awareness also increases our chances of relating to people. Right?
Yeah.
Because if we are not aware of our actions, things we say, things we do, we might easily put people off. You and I know that there is the 99% and there is the 1%, right?
Yes.
And most people in the 99%, they want to relate with that 1%.
Yeah.
And when you don't know how to channel your emotions, or you're not aware of the different emotions, like when to exhibit empathy, when to show love, when to say no, when to set boundaries, you don't know all those stuff, you cannot relate.
Yes. True.
With people of
Yeah.
And as we all know, and as we also know, self-awareness is the ability to focus on ourselves, our actions, thoughts, emotions that don't align with our internal standards.
Yeah.
This helps us also set our standards and maintain them. A lot of troubles or unnecessary situations that have been avoided if we have set these standards and we are aware of them. Because there are things that, as you said earlier, you said that you did not like to drink or you did not like to smoke.
Yeah.
That was your internal standard.
Yeah.
And initially, when you were not aware of, normally you know that you don't like drinking or smoking, right? You already knew it.
Yeah.
But you were not aware of it. You did not like notice this thing and then say, okay, I'm drawing a line here.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is where I'm drawing a line. Okay, this is not me. I'm aware that it does this to me or it does that to me. So
Yeah.
I just don't want to associate this anymore.
Yeah.
So that is why it's very, very important. Because most people are doing lots of stuff because they are not aware.
You're not
They
aware.
just don't know. Yes, they just don't know that whenever they're going through this actually thing. Just like, for example, someone that drinks milk.
Yeah.
Like whenever you drink milk, you find yourself in the bathroom and you're sitting out there for hours. Your bowel is like going and going. It means that you are possibly lactose
Intolerant. Yeah.
But because you are not aware that you keep on taking dairy products. You will drink milk, drink yogurt, and still end up in the bathroom because you are not aware that being lactose intolerant is actually a thing.
Actually,
That's where
yeah. Okay, continue.
that's where self-awareness actually comes in play.
Yeah, actually, I agree with the age. When the part where we were talking about the whole age thing, where you see adults behaving like kids, and then they tell you are sorry. Because a good example is when a man. Normally, it's very wrong for a man to hit a woman. When a man finds himself in that situation, he keeps giving an excuse like, "Oh, I didn't know how to react," or "I didn't know it was going to happen."
Yeah.
He's not really sure of himself, but he already told himself that, "Oh, I don't think I can hit a woman." Now the fact that he's thinking about it in the first place actually shows that he's not actually really sure of himself. Because if someone is sure of himself and you ask him a question, the answer is going to be a direct answer. Very straightforward. So there's not going to be any need for all those it just happened on impulse, or you acting on impulse and all of that. So we actually have two types of self-awareness, at least the ones that have been common, the ones that are common with young people. That's like body and social self-awareness. And we cannot overemphasize how these two type of awareness have been, a lot of people have been talking about it on social media. I see it on Twitter every single day. People talking about how they can improve their health, that's their body now. And then other people in another way kind of causing trouble and causing a kind of commotion online, and then bringing this topic of body shaming. I'm sure you've come across that topics a lot of times on social media. And then also this high and low self-esteem that happens to especially young people every single time on social media. You see there, even if they don't use their mouth to say it, with what they say, how they forgive my French, how they kiss ass and all of that everywhere on social media is actually a thing. Now, as a young person in our 20s, at least this generation, which of these type of self-awareness do you think is like more important? The bodily self-awareness or social self-awareness?
Both of them are actually important, but in my opinion, I will go for the body awareness.
Okay.
Because these days, in this my generation, we only promote unrealistic body. I can't really place my mind on the word right now.
Okay.
We promote unrealistic body types, right?
Yeah.
For especially now for the guys, okay, let's differentiate it by gender.
Okay.
So if there are guys out there now who have said, "Oh, I'm an ass person. A girl must have ass. A girl must have ass. A girl must have ass." Now, in the way back, that was not very important.
Yeah.
It was not. Everybody was living their lives the way they were, and they were accepted for that. And the ass and the boobs of girls just perform their main functions.
Yeah.
But these days, the guys have blown it more out of proportion that, okay, a girl must have ass. Some faction says a girl must have ass. Some says a girl must have boobs.
Yeah.
This notion or this whatever actually puts pressure on especially the female side.
Yeah.
That's why you see girls almost, okay, let's say 75% of the girls have BBLs now.
Yeah.
And
True.
you cannot blame them because some kind of abusive words that you tend to deal with, some don't have that strong will to actually go on with it. I'm not really a Twitter person. I'm not even on I have Twitter accounts, but I haven't logged onto it in like years or months. Yes, now. But whenever I do, I see some kind of hurtful things that people type to some other person without regard of their emotions. Right? Not everybody can actually read that hateful comment to type to them as well as that. Some people will not be able to see it.
Yeah.
Some will be crying, literally. I have been with a friend and someone told her something really harsh on Twitter and she was crying. And a lot of people don't understand, not a lot of people, our generation don't understand the impact of their words, right?
Yeah.
And this body shaming is not supposed to be a thing because each and every part of the body has its own function. So why I pick body shaming over social is because this generation, I don't think we have a social problem. We don't have a social problem. Everybody is extroverted, the outside, hashtag, I don't know.
But you are not outside. Everybody is extroverted except you. You are not outside. You guys, I tried to drag Esther to come outside for a whole year. Esther is not outside.
Yeah, I'm never outside. You know,
Exactly. Why?
I'm not Gen Z.
So why are you not outside? Can you tell us?
I'm not Gen Z. I'm very old at heart.
So you are mixed generation.
Yes, I'm very young.
But wait, Esther, you were always outside though. Sure you remember?
That was I was still young. I was always outside then. But I grew out of it, I guess. I rather like sleep.
Yeah, that's true. It happens though. That means you don't the old Esther.
Right? You too. You know? Me and you know how we were way back then.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have done the whole card of me because
So it seems like these days, it seems when we are talking about self-development, self-awareness these days, for some people it sounds like a fairy tale because it's actually not easy for one to just pause and start thinking about themselves, thinking about their life, what they will do with their life, or what they want their life to turn out to be. Basically plan their life and all of that. Talking about self-development now. What do you think makes self-development seem so hard? Because I know part of like self-development and all of that includes you having a kind of routine that you should follow committedly every single day, and make plans, and not just only making plans, trying your best to execute plans, dropping bad habits, especially those bad habits. It's very hard to drop bad habits, and try to start or pick up good habits, new habits that can help you in your journey, your self-discovery journey. Why do you think doing all of that or staying committed to doing all of that is so hard?
Okay, it's hard because number one, most people have not admitted that they have a problem, right? They have, when you don't know that you have a problem, you can never solve it. So I feel a lot of people, in fact, I have found myself on this table countless times. I've come to realize that when I realize and accept that I have a problem on a particular thing, that puts me on the path to solving it. But when I keep telling myself, oh, it's not that bad, I'm okay, I don't have it, it remains there and nothing is done about it. So number one reason is acceptance of the problem being there. That is very, very key. And a lot of people will not accept it. Let's say, for example, you have issues with drinking. And in a day, you drink like 4 bottles a day. And you keep telling yourself that 4 bottles is not much. There are people that drink 5, there are people that drink 10, there are people that drink
10. Yeah, making an excuse for yourself, for your problems.
Exactly, to making yourself feel that you're not even that bad. You will keep on drinking that 4 bottles and 4 But when you stop wanting to say, okay, I have a drinking problem. This 4 I'm drinking is too much. Let me reduce it to 3. Then from 3, we'll see how it goes. That's you accepting that, okay, I have this problem, and you bringing up a realistic approach to solving it. Then we go to number 2, which is going about it a realistic approach. A lot of us, including me, I have been found one thing, have brought up very unrealistic solutions to our problems. Let me go back to drinking. Yes, it's true. Let me go back to the drinking. Let's say we and you know that I can finish 4 bottles at a stretch.
Yeah.
Instead of me start by saying, okay, I'll drink 3.5 first. From 3.5, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'll tell myself that I want to stop drinking 4.
Totally. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
That's very unrealistic. It's not possible for me to just stop drinking. And that will make me drink 5 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because when I say myself, I cannot stop this thing. I'll drink 4 days as extra one. But when I say, okay, let me take 3.5. From 3.5, I reduce to 3 to 2 to 1. So agree, acceptance that there is a problem, 1, and 2, having a realistic approach to the problem is 1 and 2 on my list of the problems. And number 3 is our environment and our country.
Yeah.
Let's be very honest.
Yeah.
This country would destroy. I've had 3 companies for my branding. I had written to them.
Yeah.
And they loved my proposal, they loved my business idea, and they wanted to work with me. Then they sent me an email and asked for me to make a time for us to have a business and what time zone I'm on. When I replied them and told them that, I use West African time, which means I'm in Nigeria,
Yeah.
state of Africa, they replied me back in an email like, they are sorry, they can't work with me because why? I am in Nigeria. Yeah, consider they've not been working with people on this side of the continent yet. Now, I can, imagine how somebody will see how I felt.
Yeah.
Because of my environment where I was, I could not develop myself in that aspect, which I actually really, really needed. So the environment and your environment, and the environment might not be country necessary. It might not be your country. For some people, it might be their house where they are living in. Maybe they are staying with their parents, and their parents don't give them enough time to their personal things.
Yeah.
They're always, Benji, do this, do that. Before you're doing everything, you're so exhausted.
Yeah.
You don't have time for your personal self. That can be a bad environment. A bad environment can be your house. You don't have lights. There is no light for you to make it shoot content or do that.
Yeah.
That's a bad environment. So, environment is very, very key to the hindrance of self-development.
Yeah.
And then, the last on my list to the hindrances of self-development is unwillingness to learn. A lot of people in this country, they are not willing to learn.
True.
They just don't want to tell you or develop this thing. They're always stuck on those their old myths and old beliefs and so rigid on it. So
Yeah, I love that you mentioned being realistic, because personally I'm all about the realistic life. And I once asked a professor, what is the thin line between a habit and an addiction? Because both of these things, they are actually similar. They are actually similar, but they are not the same thing. But then in the journey or in your quest to stop an addiction, you require a lot of commitment and setting realistic plans and actually executing them. So I resonate with that very well. And also coming from the environmental part of it now, sometimes I usually feel like, the country right now is in a total mess. And because of the situations of the country, it has actually made Nigerians be as resilient as they are right now. So sometimes I usually ask myself, okay, what if everything was working fine from the get-go? Are we going to be this resilient as we are right now? Because definitely it's the situation that turned us, or would I say motivated us, to actually want more or fight for what we want. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, in my own opinion, I feel that this particular generation I'm in, whether the government was good or not, we will still be as resilient as we are right now. Because this generation is more of like the woke generation.
Yeah, they are woke. And they don't like 9 to 5 at all.
Yes, we've seen that this 9 to 5 is not a necessity.
Yeah.
It's not something that we must be confined to. There are other one come.
Yeah.
There are people that you know that in every level that we get to, there's some people that are comfortable and they are okay with their level.
Yeah.
I have met a gate man that said that he wants to be a gate man till he dies. You know that he's costing himself or whatever. That is what he has decided to settle on and to be. So whether we like it or not, there are people that will still work that 9 to 5. But this generation says that, okay, if there are other options that we can also use to live a comfortable life, why can't we explore it too?
Yeah.
And that is a very beautiful thing, because people in other foreign countries are exploring it and are making a living out of it and boosting their economy with it. So then why can't we do it? So I'm of the opinion that whether we had a good government or not, this generation would still have been as resilient as they are now. Even more.
As you know, as we have coconut here, don't really hear word at all.
Really do.
Yeah, so
Really do.
yeah, you've actually said a lot. You said a lot, and I really appreciate you. And I'm going to leave you after this question. This is the last question I'm going to ask you. Do you think relationships with people now actually in a way influence self-development? Because there's a saying that if you move around with let's say rich friends, can you hear me? If you move around with rich friends, there's a tendency that you too would become rich. If you move around with poor people or people that don't care about anything, or that don't care about their actions or the results of their actions, that you actually be as wayward as they are too. This feeling of values rubbing off on another person and all of that, do you think it actually influences self-development also?
Yes, it actually does. Show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are, right?
Exactly.
It actually does develop. And we human beings, we are spiritual beings, whether we agree with it or not. We are really, really spiritual beings. And whoever you spend so much time with, or a considerable amount of time with, their traits rubs off on you unconsciously. Now let me give you a good example. There was this time I was friends with that talk a lot. Like when there is a small issue, he likes to talk about it and talk about it for a very long period of time. And that was the kind of person I am. And I always fight him for that particular issue. And I noticed that after some time, I started being like that unconsciously. I would want to talk and drag a little issue that just settle in like 5 or 10 minutes like I used to. And then I realized that, oh wow, this thing actually did rub off on me unconsciously. So whether we actually even believe it or not, it does. In the 48 laws of power, they say avoid the unlucky, right?
Yeah.
If you move around people that have bad luck and are dull and are poor, it will definitely rub off on you unconsciously, right?
Yeah.
You might still have your mentality. Let's say you have this mentality of carrying the World Cup for Nigeria.
Yeah.
And you have people that don't have any vision or dream for themselves. You might still have that vision to carry the World Cup for Nigeria, but you will not put any action into it because you are moving around with people that have no path, no focus, no vision. So if you want to develop yourself, you have to talk to people that you know that are going to blockades to that.
Yeah.
Cut them off, delete their numbers, block them, and look for good spirits to move around with.
Block and delete. Esther 2023. I like that. That's the energy.
Unfollow them, block them, delete them, and move on.
Yeah, we'll do that. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast. I really appreciate you. Even if it was on a short notice, you still pulled up for me. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so thank you guys so much. You can drop your comments and also questions. If you have questions also, you can ask. And Esther will also, I'll relay them to Esther, and Esther will answer them for you. Or that's if I cannot answer. That's if I cannot answer. Esther is going to answer them for you.
Trying to inculcate that celebrity life. But who knows?
Celebrity. Okay, that means I have so much work I'm going to be doing. Don't worry. Celebrity, we did there. We are ready. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Turn it up. told you now.
Please.
You are worse than me.
Another year is ending. Sure, you dey why?